think I've said it many times now, I do want to live a simple life. Some might even call it a boring life. And I think the most reasons are just for myself, because I enjoy having a stress-free life and I enjoy the little things in life a lot. But today let's talk about another dimension of this, about the really, really powerful dimension that I think a lot of times gets forgotten. And this is where it's about more than myself when I live a simple life. Because I think most people think it's just, it's just boring and they just don't have better options, or maybe people that want to save money kind of have to live a more boring life. Or if you just don't have any better ideas of what to do with your time, or you lack in certain ways because you're not able to live the exciting life that you actually want to live. But I think the simple and maybe boring life in itself actually has a lot of power. And it also actually has a lot of positive political power. And it has a lot of benefits and great things that I want to talk about today. So let's dive into the practical side of it. And let me tell you, this video is really important to me, and I'm having a really hard time kind of figuring out the best way to share my thoughts with you. So I'm just trying my best, and please let me know if you understand everything, if you agree, if you have different opinions. So let's start with self-acceptance. And I think that has to do a lot with living a simple and maybe boring life, because this is when you stop doing things for other people, stop trying to live a life that other people might see as glamorous and wonderful and something like that, and just do the things that actually make you happy. And of course, we are all starting out at a completely different point, because if we're talking about self-acceptance, then we're staying and starting and even our destination is exactly where we are, our lives and our bodies and our surroundings and our thoughts. And I think that is kind of the opposite of what a lot of advertisement and capitalism is trying to tell us. Because with capitalism, advertisement, we're all gonna go into the same direction, because we all want to buy the same things and we all want to have the same bodies and we all want to live the same lives. Like, of course, not completely, but trends work that way, right? That we want to have what other people have, that something is sold to everyone who's seeing it, and advertisement is rarely actually directed exactly at you, because there are products and companies want to sell them to as many people as possible. And so I think that is also what maybe makes self-acceptance so hard, because we're stuck with what we've got. Like, it's not so glamorous. And we definitely can't buy our way into it. And that is something that I've tried to do and that I've worked on a lot during the past few years. For me, it does look like having short hair again, or maybe even more so changing my hairstyle all the time. It does look like not wearing makeup and not even wearing jewelry right now. It does look like living this minimalist lifestyle and spending more time at home and enjoying it more than I would ever thought I would. And it's hard to even say, because my whole life is kind of my life, right? And accepting it and being okay with it is the self-acceptance I'm talking about. But it might be easier for me than for other people, because there is this whole industry trying to sell us how we need to look. And then some people fit more in these categories than others. And some people are told every single day that how they are is wrong. But here comes where I think self-acceptance is so wonderful, not just for yourself, because of course for us, if we accept ourselves, life gets a lot easier, but also for everyone around us. Self-acceptance, in my opinion, can be very, very political in a positive way for all the people around you. Because if we all trust in ourselves and are able to be ourselves, the people walking around, the people you see, get a lot more diverse. And by seeing a lot of different options of how people can be happy, of how people can be successful, of how people can just live their ordinary lives, it gets a lot easier again to accept yourself. What I'm saying here is, by going against maybe beauty standards, going against things that advertisement and capitalism is telling you, you are actually setting a great example, and you're offering visibility to a different way of living and being. And you should definitely just do it for yourself, and you should definitely just do it when it feels right for you. But when I see people that kind of deviate from what we're all told that we should want, which is kind of a heterosexual relationship, a house and kids, maybe a pet, and definitely a lot of money, when I see people that do not live that are visible, that just exist by being different, it inspires me. And it makes it possible for me to see different options. And this person doesn't even have to live the life that I want to live, because I think that is what it's all about. We do not have to live like someone else. We do not have to live like it's told to us. We have to find our own ways that we want to live. But even being different in every little small and absolutely boring way makes these options wider. It makes other people able to see different options. It makes it easier to figure out what they want. For me, it makes it easier to figure out what I want if I don't just see one option, everyone's trying to go for the same thing, but if I see 1,000 people living 1,000 different lives. But honestly, self-acceptance and finding what we really want and kind of following that path and being super authentic and being blind to advertisement and just following what makes us happy. Like, yeah, self-acceptance completely is hard. I get it. But I think more so than saying, now I love myself, now I accept myself, I think we need to see this as a practice, and not in a practice in a sense of like, I'm practicing every single day. Maybe that's where German and English is different, right? But what I mean is we need to practice it. We're not great at it in the beginning. We might never get perfect at it, but it's a habit. It's something we do. It's something we try every single day. And some days work better and others not so much. But I think there's also where another like kind of misconception sometimes comes in. So I think there's also kind of a capitalist way of self-acceptance, of being different, and that looks like buying a lot of stuff. That looks like being extra different, going in different directions, subcultures, things like that. And that's not what I mean, because there we're kind of following other micro trends or something. Again, we're saying like we're different from the big group, but we're like this small group. And in the end, I think we're all different. And of course, we then might look like certain other people. You know, of course, when it's 8 billion people, some of us will have similar interests, bodies, ways of spending our time. But what I mean is, for finding what we are, for accepting ourselves, we need way less than we're told. Because of course, capitalism and big corporations are trying to make money off of our unhappiness. So if we have a question, if we are trying to be ourselves, they're going to try to sell us something. They're going to try to sell us this dream, and if this dream doesn't fit, then that dream maybe. And I think that is exactly where it's so easy and so hard at the same time, and where the absolutely powerful thing comes in, which is just not doing anything. Where I think this absolutely boring life, the part of my life that I'm living, that I'm sharing online, of like a low buy, not buying much, just not consuming much, is actually so incredibly powerful. Because I'm not trying to fix things with stuff, with buying, with money. Because I'm not trying to kind of see what fits by just exchanging the stuff that I have around me, but I'm just sitting with what I already have. At least that's the ideal. Of course, stuff is still changing in my life, and seeing what it does with me, what it does to me. And this act of not consuming, of not always throwing money at problems and hoping that there will be a solution, I think it's so underrated and it's so powerful. because we as people benefit from it a lot, while big corporations don't so much. And of course, here again, we're at being a great example and showing different options. Because if we spend time with our friends, if we're not going shopping as a hobby, if we're not always going to a cafe, but maybe choose things to do that are free, just walk around the city, explore some nature, stay at home with someone and cook something, this gives an example. And I think it's a positive example in like 99% of cases, showing that spending time with each other is enough, that you are enough, that you do not need to spend money, that you do not need to consume, that you do not need to do something that's supposed to make you happier, like buying something, buying into an advertisement and buying into something like someone is trying to sell you, that is enough. That is powerful because we learn to be happy without spending money, but it's also just really, really powerful because it does save us money. It does keep maybe money where we can use it instead of just, giving it to the top 1%. And maybe this is a lot about money, but I think like capitalism is a lot about money and advertisement is about money, all about money. And so I do think that even if it's not about us like being frugal, I think it still makes sense to think about where money is going and how money is oftentimes more so the topic than actually trying to make us happy or something when we look at products that are sold to us. This goes so far that I think the self-help industry is not supposed to work. It's just supposed to make you come back for more. It's supposed to make you spend more money. And not everyone selling you something is trying to be an evil person. And I'm absolutely aware that I'm trying about not spending money, about ditching advertisement, about all of these things, while on my YouTube videos there are ads running that are paying me money. But I'm really trying to figure out a way to do this, to be helpful with my content and to be authentic with my content without making you like need to spend money to feel like you're doing something right. Because I truly believe that you are enough, that I am enough. And the more we are able to just be ourselves, the more it is so powerful for everyone around us. Because seeing people that are okay with themselves, seeing people that's there to just be themselves, seeing people that don't always buy, seeing people that don't conform to the beauty standards, seeing people that are not just running after some capitalist lies and things that are sold to them makes like visibility for the options. It makes it easier for everyone else to do the same. And with that, I absolutely do not want to say that if you buy something, that if you spend money, you're bad. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that I hope that we can all spend intentionally. That we do not buy things because someone is telling us we need it, that we do buy things because we know it's going to add value to our lives. And that means we can buy something expensive. That can mean we don't buy anything at all. It can mean we buy a lot of makeup because makeup is an art to us. It can mean we have a lot of clothes because clothes just make us happy. But I just hope we do it for ourselves. And like this, we can be so different and it can be so inspiring for everyone around us. And I think this is where individual action that's often deemed like not so successful, especially when it comes to sustainability, I think it can be so powerful because we're making stuff visible. We're visible to other people. And for my part, as I said, I just know seeing other people, seeing other options, seeing that there are a million different things that I can do makes it so much easier to find the thing that I want to do instead of just only seeing all people going after the same ideal that I maybe know that I don't want. But if there are no other options, it's harder to be different. And to make this video even more valuable for everyone who's just watching, I would love it if you could write something into the comments that you enjoy doing that's free. Because I truly believe that we are enough. Like, and I know we literally have to pay so much money to just exist, like for food and shelter and healthcare, but I think that's not all. And I think it would be so valuable if we could all learn more, have more visibility for the things that we already are, for the things that we can do just as us. Nothing needed. No corporations, no capitalism. And yes, this is political, and yes, it's supposed to be political, and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna link you a video here that you can check out. I hope I'll see you there or in my next video, but I also do want to say thank you so much to everyone who supported me on Patreon, and also if you've watched the video until now, that helps me a lot in these capitalist algorithms to stay relevant and to be pushed out to more people. Thank you, and goodbye.